You will come through doorways that you didn't even know were there. See something unbelievable. But you have to believe it because it's right there in front of your eyes.
You know, it was very tempting to just make another reaction video to this one. Not because it deserves it, I just want to get it over with. There is purity in the ether, transition in the cables, Elysium beyond the hearts. Forsake your eyes and cross the static. The wait ends now. A crackerjack team of mixed nuts and corn kernels enter, ready to light up the temple, witnessed by a disposable cameraman.
Listen up. Get down means get fucking down. 1026 means crime in progress. 29-9 means erase the fucking tape.
Why are you telling this guy? First of all, you bastards didn't give him any protection. He's just a walking bullet sponge. Second of all, codes vary from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, so even if you're telling the audience, we still don't have any idea what 29-9 means. And third of all, even if he did plan to show someone, to show anyone what he's recorded, that is a big boy actual VHS video camera, meaning he wouldn't be able to copy it fast enough to show to anyone other than your superiors, who probably put him there with you anyway, and they would decide what the public would and wouldn't see. To cut through all the bullshit, there is a lot of bullshit in this short, which is impressive given it's just 10 minutes long. Look at this, they walk by room and don't bother to clear any of them. They don't even give them a glance. I'm not gonna cry when a salty meth head stabs you in the neck with a ladle.
Orsler Slater, check in.
Search warrant!
We're seeing planes here. These guys could be heavier armed than we thought.
You were clearly entering a hangar, and yet it's weird that you found planes! In my personal opinion, I find the roster of prison cells with skeletal remains more out of place than anything, but we can agree the video store clerk who ripped out his own eyes is a bit irregular.
He owns the video store on my block.
Sprayberry, we found some of that goopy shit from the videotape.
You found semen? Actually, yeah, I suppose that makes sense. I mean, if you're the kind of guy who trips balls to the latest videotape, you would pay tribute to the video store guy. Moving deeper into the complex of darkened tunnels, storehouses and assorted rooms, which really they should have had a far bigger strike team to take, at last the Hall of Service appears before them. An oval room, an actual assemblage of set pieces for the illusion of a living room, and pews in the form of lazy boy chairs gathered around a pillar of blindly receiving televisions, beheld by eyeless corpses settled in every pew.
It's an information superhighway that spans the globe. It is called Internet, or just the net to frequent users.
As you can tell, this wraparound segment is much more solidly connected to the shorts than previous VHS installments, with every interruption actually foreshadowing the shorts in some way. This, for example, is the lead-up to the Storm Drain segment, which features the Cult of Ratma. And for an aside, I was shocked to discover that the World Wide Web wasn't made public until 1993. The internet is just a year older than I am.
These super labs can be booby-trapped. Proceed with caution. Could be no one left alive in here.
You feeling it over your head, Nash?
Deeper still they move. What they look for is lab equipment, cooks, anything to suggest the reports they received on a super lab in the building, manufacturing some new kind of drug, something they must snip in the cradle, but all they find is more video equipment, assembled as if for religious purposes.
Fuck me, I'm calling for backup.
No, not yet. Let's find the others.
Why? Why? It's an entire damned city's worth of hallways and corridors, and one of you has already vanished. You should have an army riding your coattails right now. But they don't. They just leave the screen to fade to the wake, and continue deeper still to the point of losing their direction until they stumble into the blood-spattered tiles and severed body parts leading them to the subject. And all the while a repeating siren beckons. All are welcome. All are watching. Find me, followers. Tonight is the night you've been waiting for. Track my signal. The signal is the stimulant. The signal is a sedative. The signal is salvation. Forever starts right now. Please like and subscribe. When the short is over, things have turned. Nash smiles into the camera and tells the dying Gary that someone always gets hurt.
Forever starts right now.
Okay. The last member of their strike team, the towering Slater, is easily incapacitated by the allure of the empty screen preceding the terrific short film Terror, wherein they had a special appearance as the guy handing guns over to the terrorists. So he deserves to die.
You still think this is a drug raid? It's our videotapes that are the villain. Our videotapes are gonna fuck you up.
What the fuck is all of this?
This is a far-out fetish film cult. Snuffing and fluffing, cannibals, animals, girls in white suits, fucking shit up!
Okay, I appreciate the small nod to funny games. And I will be adding funny games to my list of movies that I need to review, but are you seriously trying to intimidate this guy by getting undressed while rehearsing slam poetry?
We're the final girls. You're our final kill.
Stop it. Stop it, please. Christ's sake, it's embarrassing. Please just stop. Just stop. Some wraparound stories are just filler that separates the different shorts from one another. And this is probably the most filler of them all. It's barely 10 minutes long, gives almost no story to hang on to, and feels overall pretty pointless. Really, they could have just had tape distortions separate the shorts and it would have been better, because at least it would have been more brief. Not to say there is nothing to admire. The set designs and the gradual descent into the bowels of what VHS is all about was really cool to see. I loved the oval room of the TV pillar and the churchly cinema and the bloody shower room and the way they visually prepared you for the every short. That was genuinely clever and creative, but unfortunately it was all taken away by the characters. You old-timers know I don't always mention who play who, and that's usually because they did nothing to make me remember who they are, or they just don't matter. Nash, Petro and Slater did play important bits towards the end of the short, but until then we were given almost no opportunity or reason to learn their names or who they were. Nash, Slater and Pedro argue a lot over the radio, but for the most part they were either not on screen or had their heads turned away from the camera, so there was nothing to make them distinct until they were literally the only characters left. I actually remember Rodrigo Fernandez Stoll as Spivvy better than them, because the film paused long enough on his face for him to say he has a face for TV, which is the most bullshit way of making a character memorable since Roy in A New Beginning. All in all, Holy Hell is middle of the barrel bad, but thankfully brief enough that it doesn't really matter. It only serves to add a minute or two of intermission between the other segments and does the job well enough and doesn't drag down the experience of watching VHS 94 all that much. It's the inedible branch holding sweet grapes together and serve them properly for your convenience.